Welcome to a brand new, exciting school year in the Dallas Independent School District. Hi, I'm Alvaro, a senior at Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts.
And I'm Marshaye, a senior at the School for Business and Management at the Emalie Townview Magnet Center. Now, school may have just started last week, but there's already a lot to talk about in Dallas ISD. For instance, this year, the district is opening 3 brand new schools, nearly completing the work outlined by the 2002 bond program that will have built 21 new schools throughout the district.
It's very exciting to see our school district continue to evolve and grow. And within the next 30 minutes, we'll take you inside our schools and share with you all of what makes Dallas ISD great.
Get set for a side of the Dallas Independent School District you may have never seen before, right here on School Zone Dallas.
The John Eagle family of dealerships is proud to sponsor School Zone Dallas, a showcase of DISD's successful commitment to prepare all students to graduate with the knowledge and skills to become productive and responsible citizens.
Welcome to Robert E. Lee Elementary School. This beautiful Dallas ISD facility houses students from pre-kindergarten through 5th grade with an active PTA.
Just last spring, Lee Elementary celebrated its 75th anniversary by throwing a huge event with the community. As many as 8 former students from the original 1932 class were on hand to mark the occasion.
Now, let's get ready for our first story. Marshaye, are you ready to dance?
Dance? Always.
Well, I mean ballroom dance.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna need a lot of practice in that area, but I'll get back to you.
A couple of months ago, several schools within the district took part in a comprehensive ballroom dance competition. Here's Gracie with the story.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at Martin Luther King Jr. Learning Center in sunny South Dallas, where students are learning to dance to a whole new beat. And not the kind of beat you might imagine. That's right, they're dancing to ballroom, the tango, the foxtrot, and it's all designed to bring home the gold. Recently, groups of lucky 5th graders from 6 Dallas ISD schools got a chance to move and groove to the rhythms of ballroom, thanks to the Dancing Classrooms program.
In January of 2006, my wife and I were watching a documentary called Mad Hot Ballroom, which was about a dancing program in New York City developed by Mr. Pierre Dulaine back in 1994. At the very same time, TCYC's Board of Directors had approved a strategic plan. One of the focuses in there was social development for elementary school kids. I guess the rest is history. We simply started moving forward with getting all the moving parts going and getting people trained and piloting the program in several elementary schools.
The Dancing Classrooms program for the Dallas ISD is called Dancing Classrooms. It's a 10-week program, and we meet the students twice a week for 45 minutes and teach them 10 ballroom dances and some line dances in that very short period of time. They get a lot of exercise, and I was always astounded at how tired they would get, and they would sweat. I mean, they really worked. So it was great exercise for these kids, tremendous conditioning.
I like the tango because we get to do the move, the corte. I love how it goes.
What makes this program really unique and successful is that it isn't an elective. It isn't an after-school program. It is in their curriculum. So we go into their class and everybody gets exposed to this curriculum.
Gentlemen turns! Well, Well, after the first lesson, you can already see some, something in their eyes. They're starting to think about what's being presented to them.
6 couples were selected from each of the 6 Dallas ISD schools. The 6 schools then competed in merengue, foxtrot, tango, rumba, and swing. The 3 top teams then went on to meet schools from Hearst, Euless Bedford, and Fort Worth at the 2nd annual Colors of the Rainbow Team Match Competition.
Of course, Martin Luther King took a gold medal at the semifinals, and then they went on and continued to practice, continued to try to improve. They did their best. The result would be good, and certainly it was.
I feel very excited and good that we won.
What's that around your neck?
A gold medal.
My parents came, and I want to give thanks to my dance teacher, Miss Ann. I want to give a shout out to all my classmates and everyone.
I thought 10 weeks was a short amount of time to teach the children all of the dances that they need to learn, but the kids were very dedicated. They wanted to dance. They came to school dancing. They went home and they danced, and so this is the outcome of that.
It was very moving for me because I know how much some of these students went through to transform themselves into the people they needed to be to win that competition. They really did it, and it was beautiful to me.
This is another example of how dedication and teamwork can bring home the gold. We'd like to thank the parents, schools, and of course the students for making the Dancing Classrooms program a huge success. For School Zone Dallas, I'm Gracie.
3 of Booker T. Washington High School's finest students were chosen for the highly competitive Presidential Scholars Program, more than any other school in the country. Hi, I'm Trenton. Did you know that only 20 students are chosen each year and Booker T has 3 of them? Seniors Brittany Brown, Asher Frankfurt, and Jay Jackson received the program's highly coveted Arts Award. The students and their teachers were recently honored at a ceremony in Washington, D.C. School Zone Dallas congratulates Brittany Brown, Asher Frankfurt, Jay Jackson, and Booker T. Washington High School for this unprecedented honor.
You're watching School Zone Dallas, the television show that highlights the best of the Dallas Independent School District, where last year, 15 schools were named exemplary and 36 recognized by the Texas Education Agency. Wow, that's more than 50 schools.
Dallas ISD is on the road to Broad, a goal set forth by the superintendent and board of trustees to win the prestigious Broad Prize, an annual recognition of the best urban school district in the country by the year 2010. Dallas Achieves, a joint coalition of district staff and the community, has been created to achieve this honor. New efforts and realignment are underway throughout the district, and the full impact of Dallas Achieves is just starting to begin.
These are exciting times, but for our next story, let's switch gears and get very serious. Recently, some students at Bryan Adams High School took part in the program Shattered Dreams. The program is presented at schools throughout the area, but its message is one that needs to be shared with as many as possible. Please keep in mind that everything you see in this story is a dramatization. Here's Kirby with more.
Recently, the student body here at Bryan Adams High School participated in a powerful and life-changing event. It's called Shattered Dreams, and the goal of this one-of-a-kind program is to raise student awareness of the deadly consequences of drinking and driving. The day started off like any other school day. Then, juniors and seniors were told to go to the auditorium to watch a video. The video showed some of their classmates saying goodbye to their parents and going to a party, where almost everyone was drinking alcohol. When one of the intoxicated students decides to drive some of his friends home, the unthinkable happens.
Bye. See you later. Bye.
Oh my gosh, the party was so much fun!
Francisco, do you think you're going to be able to drive?
Yeah, man, get out my face.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Keep your head straight. Don't move your head. Follow with your eyes. Don't move your head.
Shattered Dreams is actually a mock car crash where we stage a car crash. First responders, police officers respond. The morgue comes out, they pick up the deceased. This is all totally mock, and it's witnessed live by the student body.
After the accident, students went back to class, but every 15 minutes for the rest of the day, class after class was visited by the Grim Reaper, who removed students and one very surprised teacher, who became what they called the living dead.
When we went into each room, the first thing that was done was a name was called by the Grim Reaper.
I was stunned. And later I thought, oh my gosh, that's exactly how death comes. There's no warning.
And then at that time, official police officer announced the official time of death.
Time of death, 2:07.
And then we chose students to read the obituaries for these kids that their parents had written.
Awaiting her homecoming, her older brother, Nathaniel, Uncle Phil, Cosine, and great-grandparents. Services will be held Saturday.
The living dead were representative of the fact that one person dies every 15 minutes in this country as a result of drunk driving accidents.
The living dead, they were painted to look dead with makeup. Then they were given a tombstone that they wrote their names on, and they were asked to go out to the front of the building and plant their tombstone.
At the end of the day, the Shattered Dreams experience was just beginning for this group of living dead students. They were told they'd be attending a retreat and wouldn't be home until the next day. They would have no contact with their parents or friends, just as if they were indeed dead. Be sure to stay tuned, because later in the show, my friend Jessica will show you what happens to these kids and how this event has changed their lives forever. For School Zone Dallas, I'm Kirby.
We'll join Jessica a little later in the show for the conclusion to this very important segment.
For our next story, we're heading out to Stonewall Jackson Elementary, where the entire school has undergone a massive transformation. Each year, teachers and staff select a country or culture for students to experience. Here's Isaac to tell us more about it.
Thanks guys, Isaac here at Stonewall Jackson Elementary. As you can see, the hallways here don't look like those of a typical elementary school. Once a year, the entire school from kindergarten all the way to 5th grade comes together to learn about and celebrate a central culture or theme. This year, the topic is National Parks of the United States, and these decorations are just a part of a week-long learning experience.
This is Cape Cod.
Special Events Week at Stonewall Jackson is an opportunity for us to turn our school into whatever culture it is that we're studying at the time. Talking to children, we found out that many of them really didn't understand what a national park was. Some of them even thought Six Flags was a national park. So we thought, well, let's bring this to the children. Let's let them experience this.
Walk in, push up.
The festivities began early in the morning as a full-scale teepee was erected in the school's backyard. Soon, students were experiencing the thrills of small-scale rock climbing,
Don't fall, please don't fall.
as well as touring RVs, learning about camping, and the art of mastering a compass.
My husband and I brought our RV, our trailer. The kids could see camping on all different levels.
And then I can go sit down right here where Mr. Newman is, eat my breakfast while I'm looking out at the lake.
We like to bring it to them. They learn best from hands-on learning, and this is very hands-on, and the children are very involved in the study.
I just think that the way that special events helps us extend what we're studying and brings to life what we're studying. They're not just reading about it, they're actually living it and experiencing it, and I think that's what makes learning fun.
Most people think it's a swamp, but it's actually a slow-moving river. During special events, I was a tour guide, and I basically gave tours to everybody. I basically told them about the park and like the animals that were there.
It's a culmination of everything being integrated into the curriculum. They get a much deeper understanding.
The most interesting thing I learned was how big the Grand Canyon was. I never knew that it was 1,218,375 acres.
A project this big involves the help of virtually everyone here at the school, but it can't be said enough. A key ingredient in the week-long success lies in all of the effort and dedication of parents and community volunteers.
I do it to help the school, to help the kids. It's a great experience for all the students here. You know, it's fun working with other parents and meeting other parents.
It's always fun. It's always interesting to see what we're going to be putting up on the walls. It's a blast.
This is a wonderful time, and looking back, I think that the students have learned a great deal. These were things that will stick with them for the rest of their lives.
Hawaii, Italy, China, and now the national parks. Each year, the staff, students, and community of Stonewall Jackson come together to create a magical experience few will ever forget. For School Zone Dallas, I'm Isaac.
Check out the new garden here at Robert E. Lee Elementary. Students are able to work and study in this space. And last April, it was recognized as top in state by the Texas Master Gardener Association.
The garden certainly is beautiful. For our next story, we're going to take a look at competitive chess being played right here in the Dallas Independent School District. Let's join Karen to find out all about it.
Did you know that playing chess sharpens your problem-solving and thinking skills? That's right. Not only that, but it's fun too. Checkmate. Well, you can't win them all. Chess has been fascinating humans for almost 2,000 years. Many studies have shown that students who take up chess improve their academic performance. Chess may even raise your skills in reading and math. That's why several Dallas ISD schools are now offering chess after school.
We offer after-school programs here at Blanton because we needed work on strategic thinking and problem solving. And that is an area that many of the schools in Dallas and in the state have trouble with. And so chess is just great for working on that.
Because of his passion for the game of chess and his understanding of how it can accelerate student learning, James Kep founded the Young Art Institute in Education 13 years ago. His program teaches young people the game that provides a unique learning opportunity.
Students that deal with chess will find many mathematical examples in chess, and as a result of that, sometimes there is a carryover from chess into mathematics, making the student a lot better student.
The Young Art Institute in Education provides after-school programs for schools like Blanton Elementary. 8 Dallas ISD schools participate in the program. Young Art sponsors 3 chess tournaments throughout the year. The 8th annual Dr. Frederick Todd Invitational Chess Classic took place at the University of North Texas Dallas campus. 6 schools and over 50 Dallas ISD middle school students competed in the tournament. Also competing was a young girl named Andrea. And did I mention she was only 7 years old at the time? That's right. Andrea played against middle school students and won 4th place. She was the youngest student at the tournament and the only 2nd grader to attend.
And she started playing chess that was frightening to most of the kids there. So at the end of, I think it was about the 3rd game, she had not lost anything.
Andrea's mother began teaching her chess when she was only 3 years old. after her triumphant win, Andrea continues to play. She is a straight-A student who enjoys art, science, and math.
Well, I play chess because I like it, and when I was a baby, I started playing it, and when I started getting good, I started liking it more and more.
Although chess is a great learning tool, it's also a lot of fun, so just give it a try. Just be careful of the second graders. They're really good. For School Zone Dallas, I'm Karen.
You're watching School Zone Dallas, the show that gives you an inside look into Dallas ISD.
It's now time to return to Bryan Adams High School for the conclusion of Shattered Dreams.
It carries a very heavy lesson, but it's one that all of us should hear. Here's Jessica with the rest of the story.
Thanks, guys. As you saw earlier in the show, a group of students participated in the program Shattered Dreams, and their lives will never be the same. When we last saw the students, they were leaving for an all-night retreat, but their surprises were just beginning.
We took them in vans to Grove Hill funeral services, and they did some things with the kids at Grove Hill in terms of what would happen if a body was brought here, how they prepare the bodies.
Sitting in there, face still made up. We're allowed to talk now, but still looking very much dead. And having the tour and realizing what families had to go through after every death.
That night, the students spent the evening listening to speakers provided by Mothers Against Drunk Driving, who told heartbreaking stories of personal loss and death because of alcohol-related accidents.
I have a 20-year-old inmate in south of San Antonio serving 2 10-year sentences because he killed my son.
Right about then is when I started crying. I did cry a lot.
The retreat was moving because of all the stories we heard of how drunk driving has affected so many people, how it's taken away from people.
We got to see pictures and just hear their life stories and just hear, you could still hear their pain even though they speak to kids every day. You could hear their pain. It was really sad.
I think a lot of things really hit home with the kids on the retreat. Through hearing the true speeches by these people who had in real life dealt with this, they realized the experience they'd been through was really incredibly realistic.
The next morning at the school, a memorial service was held for the departed students. Parents, teachers, and friends came together for speeches, flowers, music, and tears, everything that happens at a real funeral.
The memorial service was hard on everybody.
I cried all the way through it. It was so moving.
I think the memorial service really, that was where so many kids in our student body attitudes changed about drunk driving for the better.
After the service concluded, the students had a very emotional reunion with their parents.
This whole experience was a major impact because it made me realize that I do have choices that I can make that directly affect others.
Some things I used to do, I don't. Some things that I was contemplating doing, I definitely don't.
I couldn't put my sister through it. I knew I couldn't, so I tell her every day that I love her. And tell my mom every day, my dad.
More than 17,600 people died last year in the United States as a result of drunk driving. As our students learned, the dangers are all too real. Please make sure your children and you are aware of the dangers and don't end up here. For School Zone Dallas, I'm Jessica.
Dallas ISD has the top 2 high schools in the country, according to Newsweek magazine. Hi, I'm Fredricka, and I'm here at Emalie Townview Magnet Center. The School for the Talented and Gifted and the School of Science and Engineering are number 1 and 2 in the country. This is the 2nd year in a row that TAG has received this honor. Science and Engineering moved up from 8th to 2nd on the list this year. Graduates from both schools are attending some of the nation's elite colleges and universities, including MIT, Stanford, Rice, Carnegie Mellon, and Vassar. School Zone Dallas congratulates the School for the Talented and Gifted and the School of Science and Engineering, 2 of Dallas ISD's finest.
Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of School Zone Dallas. We hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone here at Robert E. Lee Elementary for their gracious hospitality.
And a special thanks to Dallas ISD graduate Mr. John Eagle and the John Eagle family of dealerships for sponsoring tonight's show. Mr. Eagle, I've got my eye on one of your Aston Martins.
Dream on, Alvaro. Thank you so much for watching. We leave you tonight with a special look at the award-winning marching band at Oliver Wendell Holmes Middle School.
Until next time, we'll see you right here
in the zone.
Thanks, guys. Check it out. Right now, I'm inside Oliver Wendell Holmes Middle School, where behind me, the school's marching band is getting ready for performances this school year. They call themselves the Boss Band, and you're about to see why.
This is the 5th year for the marching band here at Holmes Middle School. In this day and age, it is very unique for there to be a middle school marching band. If someone were to come out to see the Holmes marching band, you're going to see a party. You're going to see a show. You're going to be so thoroughly entertained that you're just going to be wanting more.
You do have to practice, so like now you gotta, when you march, everybody has to be on the same foot. We gotta have 90-degree angles. We need to be paying attention, listen to the drum majors, listen to the directors, and follow the commands.
I like everything about it because we go places no other middle school has gone before.
Our students compete in all city and all regions. They compete against students from Highland Park and Capel and all over the Dallas Metroplex. Students just do so very well. They put so much energy into all that they do, and I'm just very proud of them.
And the beat goes on for the marching band here at Holmes Middle School. Impressive, to say the least. For Store Zone Dallas, I'm Emalie, and they're the Boss Band.